Well, my name is Devon. This is a Align Flow. So that means a little bit of a slower pace, more of a focus on alignment. So that's kind of nice. An announcement actually is also I'm subbing restorative yoga tonight, which I'm really excited about. So if you're feeling like you want to chill out tonight, I think it's at 6:30, but it's such a treat because I don't get to teach it very often anymore. So hope to see some of you there. But for this practice today, this morning, we're going to get into the hips quite a bit. We'll work with some balance, super grounding flow, I would say. Um, and the idea is really just to slow down. I think this time of year specifically, things like start to speed up, both just because of scheduling logistics and things, but also because it's like this time of year, nature is so beautiful, and it's like we love it so much, and therefore it kind of just goes by so fast. It's very fleeting. So we'll practice slowing things down, and yeah, that's all I'll say. The alarm at Distique is going off. We did text them. Hopefully it'll shut off, but the music, I hope, will drown it out as well. Sound good, guys? Slow down this morning? Okay. Come onto your back, and we'll find Supta Baddha Konasana. So you might choose to use your blocks underneath your thighs. If that's something you like, you can bring your blocks back with you and set them underneath outer thigh. But just take a moment to close your eyes to settle in. Really arrive in your practice. So just start to feel yourself setting aside any kind of rushing that might have brought you here. Start to feel things just moment by moment. So changing the speed, the rate that we are aware, that we are moving through life, one breath at a time now. Notice how slowing down that rate just brings us into the body right away. So taking this slower moment to become aware of your body from your head to your toes. And not only kind of casting that net of awareness over your body, but deepening it as well. So feeling your sense of presence deepen. Okay. Find a big inhale from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head, and then open mouth, exhale, let everything go. Really nice. Okay, another time you'll breathe in, filling up your belly, your rib cage, chest, and shoulders. Okay, open mouth, exhale. And then another one of those, like a clearing breath. So you're filling up all the way, kind of pushing the edges of your breath. And then an open mouth, exhale, letting everything go. Squeezing the air out at the bottom. And you can transition to breath in and out of the nose if you're ready for it. And feeling the breath take on a bit of an audible quality, a bit of a vibration. And maybe also paying special attention to the hips, right? So we've got our legs in this shape, just inviting the outer legs to feel heavy, the inner hips to feel open. And then from this shape, gently take your hands to your outer legs and draw your knees together. and into your chest. So finding some gentle compression of your thighs to your belly. We'll take a supine figure 4, cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. So if this is feeling like a lot for you, you can always just put your left foot on the ground. Okay? Or you can reach for your left hamstring and start to pull your left knee towards your body as you extend your right knee away. Good. And just waking up the outer right hip a little. What I like so much about this particular class format is that we do get to go slower, and sometimes we get so used to yoga that's fast paced, and that's so awesome as well. But there's a lot to be enjoyed when we slow down and spend time in the postures and time in the transitions. And take a deep breath. You can stay for the exhale. And keeping your legs in a figure 4, just put your left foot down on the ground. And then gently you'll drop your knees in this configuration to the right side of the room. So you're basically in a monkey twist with your right heel on top of your right thigh. And it's a very gentle pressure downward. You'll feel this in to the left hip flexor probably, maybe even up towards the psoas, which you might feel to the left of your navel. Inhale here. And stay for the exhale. Good. Come back to center. You can uncross your leg, bring both of your knees back to belly, and we'll just switch sides. So it's supine figure 4, left ankle on top of your right knee. You can pick up your right hamstring. You can keep that right foot on the ground the whole time. It's whatever feels best for your hips this morning. All right, there's a gentle flex of your feet. Right knee moves in, left knee presses away. Right, especially after summertime, which is just its own kind of busy. It's easy to kind of carry that tempo forward. So it's so nice to just follow nature's cue, the transition, just give ourselves time to pause and decide how we want to pick things up for the season moving forward. And take a breath. And gently set your right foot down on the mat. Keeping your legs in the figure 4 shape, just drop your knees over to the left side. So that left foot is a little bit of a bind. That's going to help you deepen. You can just let it rest there, or maybe even push down gently to open through the right quad and hip flexor, maybe even psoas. And the other thing is that a lot of times when we talk about slowing down, we think about that physically, but really the slowing down is probably more needed on the mental plane, right? Because we can only go so fast physically, but mentally it seems like we can wind ourselves up. Intentionally choosing to do less right here. And inhale. Full exhale breath. Really nice, guys. Come back to center with your legs. You can uncross your ankle, pull your knees to your chest, find some gentle compression. You can rock around if it feels healthy for your low back. And then you'll start to rock forward and backward along the length of your spine. Meet me in a tabletop position. All fours. No rush getting there. So once you get to your tabletop, opening up your hands nice and wide, stacking knees right underneath your hips. We'll just take a little bit of time, maybe a half minute or so, to move around. So anything natural, cat, cows, hip circle, side body stretches, just kind of working into the body since it's early. Good, and then starting to make your way towards a neutral spine. Okay, from here, you'll send your right foot straight back, tuck your toes against the floor, and find some gentle swaying forward and back. So as you're swaying, you want to think about stretching into the arch of your foot, maybe stretching the underside of your toes, getting into the Achilles and calf a little bit. Awesome. And then gently, shoulders over wrists, lift your right leg up to hover, just finding some engagement in the belly. So there's a lifting of the lower belly band, kind of to fill the low back space. And then as you exhale, pull your knee towards your nose, chin towards your chest a little bit like cat. Good. Inhale, extend back, chin and chest forward, a little bit like cow. And then exhale again, rounding. Inhale, extend back and drive through your heel. Good. Last time, knee towards the chest, rounding in a little. This time you'll extend your right leg back, hold it. Bring your right knee to tuck behind the left one. Awesome. Yep. So the knees bunch together. Widen your feet on the floor. And keeping your hands where they are, more or less, start to sit your hips back. So you might stop halfway. Okay, we're feeling out how the outer hips are doing here. Or you might sit your hips all the way back between your heels like a cow face. You don't have to sit all the way back. It's just if that's the stretch that feels the best for you. Nice, guys. And we're just pausing to breathe here. And so outer hip pockets nice and open in this stretch. Nice variations in the room. About 3 more breaths here. Last exhale. And then gently bringing it forward, hands underneath your shoulders. So from here, you'll just tuck your toes a little bit and very gently lift your hips up for a cross-legged downward facing dog. So what this does for us is that, for me at least, it opens up the IT band a little, right? You might have to wiggle into it, right, to get IT band access. So if you're not feeling it, you can consider straightening the legs more, dropping the heels more, or even curling your tailbone higher to the ceiling. So just kind of playing around. What helps you get into that outer left leg. And in the upper body, you've got a downward facing dog. So just allowing the hands to really drive into the mat. Right? Feeling the heart somewhat sink towards the thighs, but there's still engagement in the upper back. Take another breath. A full exhale here. Very gently, right leg high. You might need to hop your left foot into place a little. And as you exhale, step your right foot wide into a runner's lunge. So your right foot comes to the outside edge of your yoga mat. I'm going to bring blocks in here personally. So if you like that, you can try it. We'll keep the back knee lifted unless for some reason you want it down. And then just checking out the alignment a little bit. So your ankle is probably a couple inches beyond the knee. maybe right underneath. Good, and then feel a little bit of a squeeze at the inner thigh, so the hips might lift just slightly. Yeah, and then keeping that inner thigh squeeze, then we can relax the whole weight of the pelvis toward the floor. Nice deep breaths here. Another breath in. And another breath out. Good. Lift your hips up about halfway. Step your left foot forward. You're in a wide fold at the top of your yoga mat. So a couple variations here. Okay, if your low back is feeling great, just fold your body. Okay, any kind of fold that you want. If you're having some low back stuff, then feet as wide as your yoga mat. Hands to your thighs, and you'll take your fold from a halfway lifted position. Good. Awesome, Carrie. Love that alignment. Wherever you've landed, just drop your head. Let the sides of your neck lengthen. So being mindful of the way that we're, looking for depth today. So allowing that process to be really slow. Right? We're not chasing space or opening. What does it look like and feel like to actually take your time in your practice? On your next inhale, find a halfway lift. If you'd like, you can walk your feet a little closer together, whatever feels good in your body. And then an exhale, forward fold, let everything go. Nice job, guys. Come all the way up to a standing position, mountain. Rooting down through your feet. Awesome. Feel the weight distribute and spread across the soles of your feet. There's a little tiny micro bend in the knees so that your quads can really engage. Alignment's looking awesome. Then from your mountain, you'll interlace your fingers. Okay, take your left or your right elbow rather, bend it down towards your side body so that you've got a bind between your left forearm and the back of your head. Awesome. And then for me, sometimes what happens here is my booty kind of sticks back. So draw your tailbone back down to the ground. And then side body stretch up and over to the right. I'm just playing with the relationship between the bind of head to arm and the side body opening. Exhale in a little deeper. Good. And then back through center. Keep your arms interlaced or hands. And then just take it to the second side. Left elbow bends. That'll bring your forearm to the back of your head. Push your head back, chin up. And then as you're ready, side body stretch. So also remembering keeping the tailbone down, low ribs in. Okay. Chin lifting a little bit more if you can. Exhale into your depth. You'll come back to center on the inhale. Arms reach up and over. This time flip your palms up to face the ceiling. Stretch into the wrists and fingers. Doing your best to keep your biceps by your ears. Soften through your knees and take a forward fold. Nice and slow. And then once you get to the ground, you can drop your hands to the mat. Really nice. Take a halfway lift. Good work. Hands down, feet step back into a high plank. Pausing in plank just for a moment. You can tap your knees to the floor if that's something you like. You want more support today. In a moment, we'll lower down to the belly. Okay, when that happens, if you're not on your belly for any reason, you're pregnant and showing, you just drop down into tabletop and do some spinal extension. If you are lowering, keep your chest broad, chin slightly forward, and come down to the mat at your pace. Whenever you do arrive, you'll start setting up for spine strengthening cobra. So hands underneath shoulders, toenails dig into the mat, and then start to feel yourself build it. So it starts with the feet and it works its way up to the top of the head, right? So really cinching through the back body, wrapping your elbows back. Once you feel strong, go ahead and lift your chest up. But we're feeling the back body doing the lifting as opposed to the belly or hands pushing down. See if you can pinch the shoulders together even more. Really good work. That's it, Joanna. Take another breath. Exhale, mouth to the floor. Good. You can tuck your toes if it helps you, but we're just going to push up to a tabletop position. Find your alignment once again. Hands over shoulders. And then we'll stretch left toes back on the floor. Tuck your toes against the mat. Find some gentle swaying forward and backward into the arch of the foot. Into the toes and the heel and calf. Then once you find neutral, lift your left foot up off of the mat. Okay, stiffen through your core. On an exhale, knee to chest. Kind of like cat. Good. Inhale, extend your leg back, chin forward, throat open. Exhale, pull it in. Extending out. And exhale, knee to chest. Really nice. Extend your left leg straight behind you. This time you'll bring your knee to tuck behind the right one. Setting up for our cow face legs, widen your feet on the mat as much as you can and start to sit your hips back. So it could look a little bit like child's pose with the arms stretching forward. You could sit all the way back between your heels, maybe on a block. Okay, it's whatever's feeling great in your outer hips. It's the depth that's kind of speaking to you this morning. We'll just take some quiet time here. About 3 more breaths. Inhale together. Staying in it for the exhale. And then gently come forward. You can walk your hands a little farther forward if it helps. Tuck your toes and you'll find your cross-legged downward facing dog. Intention to get into the IT band a bit. And you might have to play with it. You might have to play with the bend and straighten of your legs. Finding the stretch that feels good in the lower half of your body, then start to work on the upper half, right? Feeling the length just like in downward facing dog. Forearms rotate in, shoulders rotate out. Good, let's find some breaths. A big inhale here. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Another time, breathe in big. Full exhale breath. Really nice, guys. So the right foot stays left leg up to the sky. Maybe you have to hop your right foot in place. On an exhale, step your left foot wide for a runner's lunge. You can grab blocks if you did so on the first side. Back knee staying up if it feels okay. Sometimes what happens in runner's lunge is we just let the hips splay open. So it's almost like the hips are opening to the right side of the mat. We want just a tiny bit of scissoring here. So you squeeze the left inner thigh back and the right hip forward. And then you keep that engagement as you soften the hips down. Nice, guys. 2 more breaths, okay? And on your next inhale, lift your legs up about halfway, hips up. Step forward into a wide fold. Okay, we'll flow this one. So from your fold, take a halfway lift. Good, Kristen. Exhale, fold your body. All the way up, mountain pose, big lift. Once you get to the top, you'll interlace your fingers. Bend the right elbow, side body stretch up and over. Inhale through center. Left elbow bends, reach left. Good. Inhale back to center, flip the palms up. Exhale, forward fold. Try to keep your arms lifting as you lower. Awesome, Chris. Hands drop at the bottom. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Step your feet to the back of your mat. Lower all the way down to your belly if that feels okay. Yeah, Brendan, so strong. And then inhale, cobra pose. You'll pause. So hang out in your cobra for a little bit. Dig the feet in. Right, feel the back body cinch, the shoulders squeeze. Now get longer through toes and through crown. Yeah, Morgan, another breath. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes. This time you'll press back up to a plank if you'd like it, or tabletop. Okay, exhale, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. How can you slow down time for yourself here? Right? It's by actually breathing, not just that, but noticing the nuance of the breath, expanding the field of awareness. How much can you be aware of at once? Has this kind of strange effect, right? Hyper awareness of slowing time down. On your next inhale, you'll gaze forward to your hands. You can step, jump, float to the top of your yoga mat, however you'd like to get there. Find a halfway lift. Good, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. We'll pause to set it up. If you've got low back stuff going on, wide feet, probably gonna feel a lot better. Sit into the heels, knees bend forward, so nice deep stance. And then notice if what you've chosen with the upper body is closing your chest down. If that's the case, just widen your arms as wide as they need to go. Really good. Take a breath. Okay, as you exhale, figure 4, we'll cross left ankle over right knee, hands to heart. Awesome. Temptation is to kind of dump everything forward into the toes. Try to keep your weight back in your right heel. As you sit down and deeper into your chair, there's actually a slight lift of the left hip crease. Alignment's looking awesome. Okay, one more exhale breath. One-legged mountain, pick up your left knee. Start to work on the strength of the right leg. Right? It's like a pillar, like a stake in the ground. And then your low belly band engages to help your left knee stay lifted. Good, relax your shoulders. There it is. Take a breath in. Crescent lunge, airplane arms, nice and slow, step back. Take your time. Reach your fingertips to the back of the room and we'll settle in 2 feet on the mat. Yeah, exactly, that's it. Back heel can lift if you want it to, up to you. See if you can deepen your hinge forward. Nice. Maybe it's a shoulder roll to get more of your shoulder onto back body. Beautiful, guys. Exhale your breath out. Warrior 2, seal your back heel down. Open your stance to the side of the room. Alignment's looking great already. It's like we want to dial in that front knee, right? It bends forward and slightly open. You'll wrap your right seat under to lock it in place. Yeah, guys. And see if you can soften gaze, soften focus for another breath. Exhale, extended side angle, right forearm meets right inner thigh. Let's make this a little more hip-centric today. So digging your right arm into the right inner thigh. And it's like your little wedge opening the hip pocket. Trillian, that's beautiful. If you've got that bind in place on the inner hip, as you spin your chest to the ceiling, it's kind of like this leverage that will help the hip pocket open a little bit more. All right, find some breath here. Full inhale. Stay to breathe out. Okay, star pose. Stand to your feet, reach big through your fingertips. And then as you exhale, skandasana, bend your back knee. So first of all, you could stop at a lateral lunge. You don't have to go all the way into the squat. If you go lateral lunge, your feet stay flat, pointed forward, hips back, torso forward. Yeah. Maybe you're choosing to squat all the way into that left leg. Both perfect options. Taking things pretty slow physically, but see if you can mirror that in the mind, right? So nice and slow, steady, taking things as they come. Exhale your breath. Okay, from here, we'll pivot to the front of the mat. So you can use your hands if you want, but it's a lunge to the front of the space, right into standing split. So lift your back leg up, and we'll pause for a bit of time here. Excellent. Standing splits, we just want to feel, first and foremost, the strength of that right leg, the grounded leg. And from there, working to turn the outer left hip down toward the mat, right, driving through the heel. One more breath. Okay, exhale, forward fold, 2 feet on the mat. Let everything go. Give yourself a moment. It's really nice, guys. Okay, so we'll start the second side right from here. Take a halfway lift. And exhale, fold your body. Find your chair once again. Sit down into your heels, arms up, right into strong alignment. And whatever you need to do to keep the chest broad and open. Okay, figure 4. This time it's right ankle on top of left knee. So left leg stays grounded, hands to heart. Noticing that when awareness is anchored in the body and the breath is smooth and slow, the tempo kind of changes. A little more weight back into left heel. There it is. Good, Joss. Really nice. Exhale your breath out. One-legged mountain. Lift your right knee. Arms sweep up. Starting to find that power through the left leg. It's like you're kind of squeezing in the base of the left seat. Hips drive forward a little. Good. Nice, Emily. Great focus. Shoulders soften now. Take a full breath. Then slower than you want to go, crescent lunge with airplane arms. So it's just taking our time in the transition to step back. Nice. So you can really deepen the hinge if you want, bringing your belly toward your thigh. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, alignment's great, guys. Exhale your breath out. Warrior 2 on the inhale. Drop your back heel, big open stance. Some days it's really easy to be patient, one pose to the next. Some days we want to rush through it or we check out mentally because it's hard to go slow. Extended side angle, left forearm to left inner thigh. So if you'd like today, we're binding to the inner side of the leg to help open the hip a little more. And then as you keep that arm in place, rotate your chest more to the side wall. See if you can get into that left hip crease a little deeper. So nice, Morgan. You got another breath. And then on your inhale, star pose, straighten your legs, stretch out your body. Good. Exhale to the back. Bend your right knee, either lateral lunge or skandasana, whatever you like the most. Awesome. Good breathing. All right, so from this shape, we'll pivot on the feet. First, find low lunge to the top of your space. Then launch into your standing splits, right leg lifts. Finding strength in that left leg, then turning outer right hip toward the ground, driving through right heel. Excellent, guys. 2 more breaths. Forward fold, 2 feet together. And take a halfway lift. Nice, Chris. On your exhale, step back to high plank. Slow lower all the way down to belly. Good. Inhale once you get there, cobra pose. About 3 breaths to hold, wrap the back body. And then exhale, let go. You'll push up to a tabletop position, all fours. We're going to slow things down for a bit. So you'll find your tabletop, then slide right knee forward to right wrist. Turn your shin bone in, stretch your left toes back, and you're in half pigeon. Okay, so we're going to intermission for a little bit, half pigeon. We will sleep it, but before you go there, just check to make sure that you're not really sinking too far over to the right in avoidance of the discomfort, right? We want to feel ourselves kind of in this like buoyant center. And then from there, you can fold forward. Maybe it's forehead to a block or the mat. And a window of time to observe the transition from a lot of movement, dynamic movement, into stillness. We'll see how that goes. About 3 more slow breaths. So the posture being our opportunity to play with what happens when I slow down to be aware of each and every moment, each sensation. Can I expand my idea of time, my idea of presence? Last breath in. And a full breath out. Really nice. Come back up to your hands. Okay, from your half pigeon, you'll come onto your right seat. Gently swing your left leg around you so you're in a Janusirsasana. I'll switch so I'm reflecting you. Okay, so your foot comes to your inner thigh. So I'm going to offer a option. Okay, so Janusirsasana, that means separate leg stretching. You can stay exactly here, okay, with your foot in this position as we take the fold. If you'd like to play with a little bit more external rotation, you can gently lift this right foot and bring it into left hip crease. Now, if you do that and it makes your inner right knee start to scream, just back out, like it's not worth it, and just choose the variation that your body wants. From here, regardless of where you are and your legs, turn your torso towards your left thigh and gently fold forward. If you've got your leg in a half lotus, it might be a little more constricted as you fold. But do your best to keep some extension in your spine as you round or fold, rather. It's like you're stretching your heart towards the top of your left foot. And take another breath. And stay to exhale. Okay, you'll walk yourself all the way back up. If you have that foot in half lotus, just gently lift it up and off. Good. And then I guess If you had it on the leg, keep it there. We're just going to slide it down. I want you to find like a little cross leg boat. And if you didn't have it there, just cross your right ankle over your left one. You can grab the underside of your thighs for now and lift your heels up off the mat. So a little cross leg boat. Okay, so we'll set it up for a second. Push down through sitting bones. You can use your legs to help you find balance. Chest up. Then finding as much length in the spine as you can hinge back a little bit. If you want, you can release your hands. So I'll teach this in layers. You can stay here, just find some balance, play with the difference of having the legs crossed. What I like about that is you can kind of, it's like as if you were going to pull your feet apart, but they can't because they're bound. It gives you some leverage to play with, especially as we take it into low boat, lower all the way down. And then play with that. So squeeze the inner thighs, act like you're going to drive the feet apart. Good, and come back up into boat. Okay, 4 more times. Inhale, lower. Use the legs. Exhale, lift. 3. Good. 2 more times. You can use your hands. Last time, lower. And last time, lift. Cross your legs. Come back into a tabletop position. And we'll do the second side. So right away, left knee comes forward to left wrist, shin bone turns in. Right leg extends long back behind you, half pigeon. So before you drop in, finding the center point in your hips where it feels a little bouncy, and then coming all the way down. I'm getting comfortable on the second side. And sometimes we want to slow down. We crave that slower pace, but it can be hard to access because we're not practiced. It's really uncomfortable sometimes. So just letting this be your practice. And if discomfort shows up, just nice, deep, smooth breath. About 3 more. Make your way back up to your hands gradually. Just slide your weight over to your left seat, swinging right leg around. Good. So Janu Sirsasana to start. Left foot binds to the inner leg. If you'd like, you can very gently lift your foot. Knife edge of the foot rests in your hip crease. This is totally optional. If you find that the second side isn't comfortable, you can do different things on different sides, okay? From here, upper body faces your extended leg, and you'll work your way into your version of a fold. That could be a very small hinge. For me, it's tiny. You don't need to fold deep. If you want to fold deep, go for it. If you are taking the half lotus and it's new for you, this is not a position you often find your foot in, then what are the sensations? Use that as an opportunity to expand awareness of body. Another breath in. A full exhale out. You'll lift your torso. If you've got your left leg on top, just slide it down, cross the ankles. If you don't, left ankle over right, bend your knees. Find your boat shape. You can hold the base of the hamstrings just to set it up, right? Get your shoulders back, your heart lifted. Good, and you'll use the feet a little bit. And as an extra force to find strength. You can float the hands. Do your best to keep the low back long, but it's a little hard. And as you inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Good, lower. And lift. 3 more times. When you lower, kind of like you're going to pull the feet apart. Exhale, lift. 2. Last time, lower. Lift up. Cross over the ankles. This time you'll push back, downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. We've got 1 more standing pose left. Inhale, gaze goes forward. Step hop, top of your yoga mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Let it all go. Come up into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Good. Exhale, figure 4. Across your left ankle on top of your right knee, hands to heart. So I'm going to give you a couple options for where we're going. Okay, I'll give you the second variation after we talk about hot tree. So interlace your hands. Pick up your left foot. And if it feels okay, you'll gently lift your foot all the way into your hip crease. Now, if you're starting to do this and it doesn't feel good, come into a classic tree, foot to inner thigh. No big deal at all. And if you are in your half tree, we've got a couple options. You can hold your foot there with your right hand, left hand to heart. Yeah. Really good. And it's as if the left knee is pointing down to the ground. Right? Beautiful variations in the room. There's a lot to be aware of. Slow it down a little. Good, David. Three more breaths. So if you're in the hot tree, I like to take my hand to outer thigh to lift the knee up and give it a little squeeze before I set it down. But we'll meet with 2 feet on the floor. Okay. You can shake out the left or the right leg a little. And we'll do the second side. So inhale, find your chair pose. Exhale right into figure 4. Left ankle, or right ankle on top of left knee. Good. If you're moving into hot tree, scoop up the foot. Slide it up your left thigh. Tuck your right foot. So that crease right into the hip, just like we did from Janusirsasana, yeah? Then maybe it's right hand comes to heart. You can also take a traditional tree, foot to inner thigh. Okay, but we want to feel in this variation very subtly that the right knee is pointing downward to the degree that it feels okay on the hip and the knee. Two breaths. And then very gently, if you liked it on the first side, you can lift your right knee up, give it a little squeeze. And we'll set everything down. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up. Okay, sealing our standing practice right here. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Okay, exhale, tuck and curl, bend your knees, round everything in. Give yourself a moment, right? Chin to chest, breathe in between the shoulder blades here. It's really good work, guys. And very slowly coming down to your seat. And then down to your back. Good. From your back, we'll take one brief bridge pose. So feet hip width distance apart, arms down by your sides. Good. Start to dig into your heels, feel your seat engage. Drive into your palms, and as you're ready, lift your hips up off of the mat. Yeah, it can be gentle. Just breathing into the front of the hips. Should be feeling pretty open now. Chin slightly off the chest. Amazing breath this morning. Inhale. And exhale, relax your hips down to the mat. And take fallen bridge for a moment. Knock your knees together, feet out wide. And then from here, scooping up your knees, bringing them into your chest. We'll take a brief supine twist here. Keep your right knee in, send your left leg forward. Find some compression, right knee around the rib cage. That squeeze will probably feel pretty good. And then as you're ready, you can take your right knee over to the left wall. As this slower dynamic and slower pace really starts to settle in, just allowing the mind to follow. Exhale everything out. And come back to center and switch it out. Left knee stays in, right leg long. And for a moment, finding compression, left knee towards left armpits. Exactly. And then as you're ready, moving it into your supine twist for the second side. And if you haven't yet, but you'd like to, you can close your eyes. And taking a big breath in. And then letting it go. Knees move back to center. Giving them a big squeeze in if you'd like that. And moving into Shavasana however you'd like. Have some time to be here, so get comfortable. Let your feet open, flip your palms up, let your shoulders melt down, back of your head softens, muscles of the face release. And just allowing body and presence and time to expand.
And just taking a moment to feel into the stillness of your body, anchoring into that place of inner stillness as something that you can stay with, even as the body starts to move, even as we return to our day. This inside world, inner experience can stay slow and still. You're more than welcome to just stay in Shavasana. If you have the time and you want to stay, you're welcome to. If you'd like to start reawakening, move your body, take some deeper breaths. You might choose to find a full body stretch, reaching arms back, pointing your toes forward. And then knees to belly, gently rolling over to one side or the other into a fetal position. No rush. And gradually coming up to a seat, facing the front of the room. So legs crossed, feel grounded through your sitting bones, lifted through your spine. Soften the shoulders down. You can find hands together in front of heart. And take a deep breath. Gentle exhale. Again, breathing in and letting go. So a moment to acknowledge the land and the people and the culture where this practice and these teachings came from. A moment to acknowledge yourself for choosing to spend your time and energy in this way. And thumbs to